In this video, we're checking out Frenzy Extinction. I'll flash the details up on screen. It's out for your meta quest right now. And this is a mutant themed wave shooter with up to 4-player co-op. Although it's a little bit more than your bog standard wave shooter, something I'll go into a bit later. But first, let me explain the gameplay mechanics to you. So you start out in your hideout. This is your safe area. From here, you get to purchase and upgrade and customize your character. You can customize your look by giving yourself a new outfit, a new mask. But even more than that, you can unlock perks, which upgrade your character with different abilities, unlock different gun skins, and craft and upgrade an insane amount of weapons. Both melee and long range weapons exist in this game, and how that works is during the game you collect different resources: wood, gold, metal and cloth. As you progress through the game you unlock different guns, and as long as you've got the resources you can craft those guns. Then you can take that gun, upgrade it with an increased mag size, increased damage. You can attach different attachments like laser sights and a silencer, and you can give it a new skin. You can really pimp out your weapon. You can also use the resources to unlock perks and buy different masks and outfits. However, unlocking a weapon or a perk in your hideout doesn't mean you get to use it in game, because there's another step to it. So when you go into the level, you won't start with those weapons that you have in your hideout. You'll have to also purchase them in the level using something called necronium. Necronium are these green orbs that you get when you kill enemies. You'll find weapons to unlock dotted around the stage, and as long as you have enough necronium and you've unlocked them in your hideout, you can purchase that weapon to use in that level. Same thing with perks. As long as you've unlocked the perk in your home base and you have enough necronium, pulling the lever will then endow you with that perk. So it's a two-step process really. You have to unlock the weapon or the perk at your hideout first before you can then go into the stage and purchase it using necronium. There are 9 levels with 3 different difficulty settings: a story mode, a boss rush mode, and you can play up to 4-player co-op or grind it out in single player. How the game works is that you'll start off with a mission. It might be collect 3 different objects, and you'll run around the map trying to complete this objective. There'll be areas that are blocked off to you that you need to spend necronium in order to reveal. Other areas you'll only be able to open once you've completed an objective or defeated a boss. You defeat wave after wave of enemies, not only to defend yourself but also to obviously build up your supply of necronium so you can advance through the stage and purchase certain upgrades. And that's it, that's the game. You do that until you've unlocked everything in the level and you reach the exit. So after playing for about 3 or 4 hours, here are my impressions. The first thing I love about this game is the sheer variety of weapons. You're definitely spoilt for choice here with both long range and short range weapons, as well as boss weapons that you unlock once you defeat bosses. Melee weapons also have a secondary fire too, and long range weapons can be upgraded. Weapons feel good to handle, and I absolutely love the dismemberment system. You can chop off limbs, shoot off heads, and it's so satisfying. Now whilst this is a wave shooter, it feels a bit more than that, because the levels, they're quite open, and you do get objectives and different boss encounters. So it doesn't feel like your basic wave shooter where you're stuck in a tiny arena just waiting for waves and waves of enemies coming at you. Like I said, it feels a bit more than that. The location of objectives will also change with each playthrough to mix it up a bit, which is a nice touch. I only played this game on single player, but I bet co-op is a blast. It also feels fairly polished. There are some janky moments here and there, which I'll talk about later, but for the most part, moving around, handling weapons, fighting enemies works quite well. But now we go into some of the negatives. The first drawback is story. So there's not much of a story here. A mutant virus has been released. Everyone's turned into mutants. You've contracted the virus, but you're strong enough to control it, and you basically have to wipe out all of the evil mutant zombie freaks. So this game isn't going to win any prizes for storytelling, but this is one you're not really going to purchase for the story. And I said earlier that this goes beyond your bog standard basic wave shooter where you're trapped inside this small arena and your only goal is to defend yourself from wave after wave of enemies. This has a lot more to it, but even still, it can still get a little repetitive, especially with some of the missions. So with the missions, you'll be collecting stuff or destroying stuff or maybe flipping switches, and whether you're collecting fuel cans or artifacts or pieces of a radio to assemble back together, some of the missions can feel very, very similar and a bit like grindy fetch quests. The other drawback to this game as well is, I said for the most part this game is quite polished, and it is, but there are some janky moments. For example, storing weapons along your waist and retrieving them can be a bit clunky. Sometimes when it comes to melee weapons, the hit detection is not 100%, and the monsters are not the smartest. The AI could use some improvement. They will make a beeline for you and sometimes get stuck in the environment. So these are all things that could be improved. Anyway, that's my review. So in summary, I think this is quite a decent game. There are some things that the developers still need to fix up, but the things I loved about this game is the variety of customizable features and weapons, perks, so many things to unlock and purchase. I think it's a great little system and a lot of variety here. The system of killing enemies to purchase things in the level that you've unlocked via the hideout actually works quite well. The game generally plays pretty well. Chopping up enemies is always fun, and playing co-op I'm sure will be a blast with this one. But despite the fact that it's not your typical wave shooter, it still suffers a little bit from that repetition that can take hold, especially after longer play sessions. There is a little bit of jankiness there, especially the weapon system, and the objectives can feel a bit grindy and samey after a while. But overall, I enjoyed Frenzy Extinction. I think it's one you should definitely check out, especially if you have a few friends who want to jump in with you as well. I can see you having a lot of fun with this. Anyway, that's it from me. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you think of the game in the comment section below. Thanks for watching as always. I hope to catch you in the next one.